Do you think, Dan, that we could see perhaps a possible tightening of the relationships in the nations in the Abraham Accords? Of course, the UAE and Israel are both signatories, Bahrain as well, but so far there hasn't been reports that Bahrain has been using any Israeli military technology. If we do see a resumption in these hostilities, indeed if these ceasefire talks do break down, do you think that there could be a tightening of these alliances in the region?
Yes, I think the situation is forcing everyone to choose. The idea that Iran, despite the military defeat that it suffered, continues to double down and try to use asymmetric means to impose terms upon the world is creating a situation where these countries in the Persian Gulf may have to make a choice that is uncomfortable for them and that they might have preferred in many cases to avoid. The UAE leaving OPEC, by the way, factors into this. That many will tell you also has to do with a movement towards aligning themselves with the USA, and in that regard, in this context, with Israel. It's a very delicate situation, and much depends on what happens in Iran. We heard before a speaker talking about the Iranians potentially moving to obliterate his words. The Emirates and the various Persian Gulf countries across the Persian Gulf from Iran. If they do that, then that would have the effect of uniting much of the world against them. The Iranians currently are made brazen by the divisions in the Western alliance because the Europeans are at loggerheads with Trump over things that have little to do with Iran, and they are peevish about not having been consulted about the war with Iran, and that may be giving Iran a little bit of a false sense of confidence and succor, because not that much is necessary to bring the Western alliance back together against them. And we already see that these threats could potentially bring much of the Arab world into that alliance against them. And it isn't far-fetched to imagine even a Chinese turning against them, because the Chinese are not generally in favor of jihadist theocracies. Their alliance with Iran is one of convenience alone. So Trump telling Congress that the war has been terminated is obviously a machination because of the 60-day requirement that he should get approval from Congress to prolong a war beyond 60 days, and obviously that has expired. So I think we can put that aside. The real question is whether Iran has a leadership right now that's capable of making a decision to stand down. Do they really believe that they can outlast the West, no matter what the damage caused to Iran by the blockade? And to what degree are they willing to bring down the house upon themselves because of the nuclear program? And I would really love to hear an answer from Mohammed Khatibi, who is with us on this panel, where he says that Iran has rights under the NPT to enrich at civilian levels, which are about 3.5%. And that's largely true, they do. But everyone's talking about the need to get out of Iran hundreds of kilograms worth of uranium enriched at well over 60%, well over 80%. And I wonder what Mr. Khatibi thinks is the origin of that highly enriched uranium that could only be enriched at that level by a country that is pursuing a nuclear weapon, because there's no other conceivable, plausible, remotely possible reason to have that level of highly enriched uranium. Does he really think that was put there by Martians or by Zionist conspirators? And if it was done by the Iranians, how should the world not conclude that the Iranians are pursuing a nuclear weapon?
Mohammed, I'll give you the right of response to Dan's question there.
So Iran was implementing a 2015 deal which oversaw every aspect of Iran's nuclear program, and the United States under the Trump administration withdrew from it. And that kind of enrichment, it didn't happen in a day or two, and Iran responded to the sanctions and the United States maximum pressure campaign. And right now, Iran will not let go of that because it knows the situation in Libya, what happened after Gaddafi let go of its nuclear program. And Iran knows this well. If that enriched uranium goes out of the country, there will be ground troops here in Iran. So Iran is acting rationally, and the attacks on, you talked about the attacks against regional countries. Iran just attacked US bases in the region, and it
No, you also attacked the
escalated
airport.
after the United States attacked Iran alongside Israel. So the closure of the Strait of Hormuz is in response for the attacks by the United States and Israel.
Thank you very much to all of our guests, Professor Pasha, Dan Perry, Raymond Vikri and Mohammed Khatibi. And that's all that we do have time for. Keep watching NewsX World for more news updates coming to you from around the world.